So BTC is just absolutely dishing out bear hidings for us all day. These shorts are getting liquidated left, right, and center. These alts are blowing up. We've got ETH pushing into a major 618 resistance area. Is it going to blow? There's lots of questions I'm asking myself today. Is it time to start taking some profits, or are we sending these altcoins a little bit higher? Are you feeling euphoric? How are you feeling? It's wild out there. We've seen this before. Sometimes it ends badly. Let's get stuck into some of these coins. I'm looking at Ton, ORDIs, Injective, DOGE, Rune, Render, Vulcan Forge, Link, and I might have a few others brewing for you guys. And there's also a poll in the chat right now. Let me know what you want me to look at for you guys. Let's get right into this. It's also very important that we use this momentous occasion to bring out the bull. We're gonna pull out the whip. We're just pulling it all out today because it's just feeling so good out there. Now look at these meme coins. I didn't think I would ever see Pepe doing what it's doing now, PP. And I mean, we thought this thing was dead and buried in the bear market, and people have come back. They've come back to crypto and they forgot all about the drama with Pepe and all the FUD surrounding it and the team issues, and they've come and they've just pumped this thing to the moon. That's how we know retail is back. These meme coins are still just absolutely ripping. Then Arweave, we had some great announcement yesterday on Arweave, one of Run's favorite projects doing well. ORDIs blew up. I gave you guys that long yesterday. That was a banger. Are we going to close that? I'm going to take a look at that just now for you guys. We might close that one together. And just all around, things are looking good, feeling euphoric. And I've got an interesting tweet here that I wanted to show you guys before we dive into BTC. And this is very important. Read this carefully. Early signs of thrill and euphoria. Number one, CoinGecko starts crashing. Number two, you check your portfolio 20 to 50 times a day. Who's doing that? I'm doing that. Can't stop looking. I know the legend's also doing it. I mean, you clicking buttons all day.
Oh,
Bruce,
yeah, I can't help
he's not
now.
even there. He's clicking his own
48 hours.
He hasn't slept in 48 hours. He's clicking buttons. Everyone's an excellent trader now. Meme coins become the leading sector. We're seeing it happening. Non-traders are transforming into traders. Now you guys are feeling like, I'm going to quit my job. I'm such a good trader. I'm taking longs. Things are popping everywhere. Just remember this feeling, okay? It's very hard to think of a source of FUD. Who's feeling this way? It's wild out there. I want to see in the chats what you guys are feeling, and let me know because the market's making it too easy for us right now. It's feeling just too simple. We're seeing a breakout, we're trading it, we're making money. I mean, it can't be this easy, surely not. So we're going to take a look at a few signs today, and we're going to try and figure out how we're going to deal with this. But one of the things I can say is, if you are making money, stop showing your wife the P&Ls. Start taking some profits. Take some off the top there, because I'm going to give you a lesson just now. Okay, first thing first. 7,000 BTC in shorts liquidated in a few minutes. 420 million US dollars worth. That explains a lot of what's happening right now with this BTC move. We've got Peter Brandt, a well-respected chartist. He's actually a great trader, great account. He's always quite level-headed. He's capitulating. He's basically saying, okay, BTC is it. It's where it's at now. And he was always a little bit of a bear, you know, a little bit negative about the whole crypto thing, but he's absolutely loving it now. Then we've got a sign here. It's from CRG saying exit liquidity is coming. And how do you tell? Well, you tell this by the amount of App Store, or the ranking in the App Store for Coinbase. So suddenly people are starting to buy tokens again. They're starting to sign up to Coinbase. They're pulling out the app on their phones. There's interest in retail. We're going to track this. This is always a great sign for when retail's coming back. And you know, at one point in the bull market, that Coinbase app had a very high ranking. It might have even been top 10. It might have even been number one at some point. So right now it's starting to climb the rankings, which means people are coming back. Things are getting interesting. And this is exit liquidity. So if you're sitting here now and you're watching these shows and you're trading now, you are still early. When this ranking gets to the top 20 or the top 30 in the App Store, then, you know, we're going to be maximizing whatever we can. And there's new meat coming into the market, and that is effectively the exit liquidity. That's how we all going to make money, when the retail eventually wakes up and starts buying the top of everything. So keep that in mind. Try and keep little indicators like this, watch them, and try and understand and look at this. Obviously, you know somebody who's bought the top. Look at this. People who purchased Bitcoin at 60K in 2021, they are back in business. They bought the top. We laughed at them. We teased them. BTC went back with 15,000, 16,000. Now they are back in business, and they might even be in a profit at the moment. So well done to them for holding on so long and not capitulating. And one more thing for you guys. Look at this. The fear and greed index that we looked at yesterday, it's now sitting at 82. Okay, this thing is getting hot. This thing is cooking at the moment, which means, you know, we're getting a little bit loose here. We're getting loose. We're lifting the leverage. We're pumping these things. We're feeling euphoric. We're thinking there's no end. It's just up only. And remember this feeling. And I want to just show you this fear and greed index over the entire period of existence from 2018. This little area over here is the October 21 highs that we had with BTC. And you can see we are pushing close to that area, and you know what happened after that. We started falling over. So eyes on this. Just understand how you're feeling right now. Understand where you are, you know, in the market. Are you feeling like an exceptional trader? Do you keep adding and adding and adding? And you know, if you're feeling like that, we really need to just tone it down a little bit, because you've got to understand, when we get these pullbacks from BTC, it might be a very short pullback, but you got to look at your entries. You got to look at some of your positions, and you got to say to yourself, will these positions survive a 20% flush out from BTC? And you need to understand that, have that in the back of your mind. Your best entries should survive that. You should survive a 20% flush out on some of these altcoins. And remember, it happens super quickly as well. So eyes on your best entries. Do you have 20% leeway? Because they can come here and they can take you out and then send it back up before you know it. If you have tighter entries, make sure you are starting to tighten up your stops and things like that, and clipping a little bit of profits off these current trades. And, you know, it's easy to get lost in the euphoria. And I mean, I'm doing it now. I've even got too many trades open. I'm going to show you. It's actually a dog show what's going on in some of my trading accounts right now. Okay, let's look at BTC right now. This is BTC on the 15 minutes. I've had to go full degenerate here for you guys, because BTC has been absolutely pumping and squeezing non-stop over the last you know, 12 24 hours. So we've had to look at a 15-minute range just to build you a picture of levels we're watching with BTC and key areas for us. If we get these little dips and things, where can we look for bounces and stuff? So levels I'm watching today, very important areas for us that should that should come into play if we do get some kind of dip. First level, 59,600. You can see it's a nice little 382. It's nice little horizontals here on the 15 minutes. So this is my first hot zone here, 59,600. That's a big level. Another beautiful area here, 58,500. That's a 618 pool and some horizontals. You can see the last time they dipped it here, they did buy that back very quickly. And so we've got a nice little marker there. And then the juicier zone. Now this is 15-minute time frames, but the juicier zone here is 57,300. So these are big areas you need to watch today for downside. We're going to get to the upside now. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. Big areas to watch downside. These are your levels. These are your potential reaction zones, your potential bounce zones for BTC if it's going to start picking up. Remember, when we get to a situation like this, often when it starts dipping, everyone starts opening shorts because they say, oh no, we're right. And then it pumps again and it squeezes again and they get rinsed out and it keeps pushing up and pushing up and pushing up. So eyes on these key areas here. That should help you if we do get some kind of downside. Let's look at BTC upside now. All-time high, Bruce? All-time high coming in 12 hours?
Not even close.
Before
We're gonna do further.
or after?
After. We're going to keep going.
After.
We're going to be a little pumped.
Are we not going to get all-time high in the next 12 hours?
Oh, yeah. Actually, in that, yeah. We're there. We're there. We're there. We're there.
Guys, let me know in the chats. Are we going to get all-time high by tomorrow? Is it going to happen? Let me see. I see Alex here in the chats. He says, give us good long trades. Alex, I've got some stuff for you. I've got things for you. Cunning George says, let effing go, Dill. Guys, I'm feeling like that. I'm feeling like this. And have you noticed how quiet Doge is? And all these other meme coins are absolutely ripping. So we're going to look at Doge again. It's struggling to break that nice little level that we've been watching. So we're going to see if we can get a little push here from Doge. Okay, Ayo for Yayo says, all-time high is coming. Dynaway says, all-time high is coming. Ivan says all-time high before halving. Well, I want to know if it's coming. in the next 12 hours, guys? Let me know. Who else is here? The Foggy is looking for boom. And we got King Louis, who's calling for 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓. Now, 𝗕𝗓𝗓𝗓's 𝗬𝗘𝗥𝗑𝗘 cat. We've spoken about this multiple times. I saw it did something like 80% today on the latest move. So eyes on that. Okay. Crypto Man wants vet. Jasmine is ripping, apparently. So, guys, there's so much going on. Let's just see the poll here. I want to see which tokens you are interested in. 𝗘, 21%. That's interesting. Arweave, 32. Stacks, 32. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at that once I've banged through some of these tokens that I need to look at for you. So ETH BTC, this is a guide for us that tells us ETH versus BTC strength. You can see on this current BTC pump, we've now got some ETH weakness versus BTC, and it's broken through our first major support region. I don't know what to say about that. It's a 200-day moving average, it's a 200-week moving average, and it's a trend. But you can see the amount of force that BTC is squeezing up. It's inevitable that ETH is going to start losing support. It feels like, you're boxing in the ring with, different weight classes here. When BTC is squeezing, all bets are off, and this dominance and things like that starts playing differently. But what we are getting to right now is another zone of interest here for an ETH BTC bounce. We have the 100-day moving average in play, and we've got some horizontals. This is a weekly level that we're going to be watching now. So eyes on this level right now for the bounce. It could potentially happen here. So let's keep our eyes on this region here. That's our next level. Other than that, we're dropping lower. We're moving back to that original weekly support. So eyes on that. And, mind you, ETH is still doing okay considering. And the last time we saw a major like this was BTC banging the 618 fib on the ETF launch day. BTC hit its relevant fib there, and now ETH has finally caught up. So ETH has been dancing around this area for most of the day, and this is a bigger picture. So I just want to show you guys current targets. So right now we are in my first TP zone for ETH. That was a TP zone I put in place when we took that long at 2,000. I think it was 2,300. That's what we were looking at the time, and to me that made sense as a great TP zone, and it's happened quite quickly. So we are in TP zone 1 now for ETH. This is reaction zone, resistance zone. Often there's a fight in areas like that, so understand this region 2,350, 3,400. This area on a whole is a 618 fib. Then a little bit higher up, if we blow this current area, we're looking 3.5 to 3.6. That's our next major weekly area here for ETH. So these are the two big bangers that we are looking at right now, big areas for ETH. I just want to give you a word of caution here. I did see this. A wallet related to ETH Foundation deposited 4,000 ETH, that's $13 million, to Kraken after ETH price exceeded 3,300 today. The last time the wallet deposited was on the 16th of January when the price was the same. Okay, that generally means that they want to start offloading some ETH. The price seems good to them, and maybe a little bit of pressure here on ETH at the 618 region. Again, it doesn't mean it's going to reject and send it to zero, but it just does mean there is going to be a little bit of sell pressure in this interesting reaction zone here for ETH. And then I've got Gert van Langen, and I quite like some of his viewpoints here, and he's given us a chart. He's the ETH bull of note. He's given us a target here for ETH of $25,000. I would have been happy at about 4.9 and things like that, but this guy's like going uber bullish here. He's talking a blow off top to about $25,000 for ETH. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that one. Is he being realistic or not? I'd be happy with ETH at 7 to bail. So let's see if that comes into play. Right. Yesterday, we looked at a couple of trades. One of them was Celestia that I got stopped out on, and they actually pumped the candle back up. So we can, if we got time, we're going to check a little bit later. But then the other banger that we had was ORDIs. So let me know. I know Ray took that ORDIs trade. I know a couple of guys have DM'd me as well and messaged me telling me they took this ORDIs trade. So let me know how it went for all of you. I took the ORDIs trade. Here it is in my Mexi account. Let's just see where we are. At the bottom here, let's see if I can find it for you. I've got a bit of a mess here. Here we are. This is the ORDIs trade. That is wrong. Hold on, let's reset this thing. We've got to reset this. The ORDIs trade is long and strong. So let's see where we are. Let's just reset this thing. There it is. Okay, there's ORDIs at the top. $1,800 up. I took that trade with you guys yesterday. That thing's been pumping. Is it potentially TP time? Do we need to be, less greedy here if we make, $1,800 on a trade in 12 hours? Should we be taking profits? Let's just look at this ORDI situation and try and understand how we deal with this one, and why is it a potential exit zone. So this is ORDI on the 4-hour. And it looks like we've got quite an interesting fib in this region. So let's just zoom out here. Okay, a little bit slow. I've got all these exchanges open here on my Mac here. Okay, so ORDI's rejecting off a 786. Okay, so when you are looking for TP zones and things like that, you typically want to look at your major reaction areas when these tokens are pumping. And the most obvious place here for ORDI's for a TP zone was the 786. Look at the science coming into play. Once again, all I did was pull a fib from the previous high on the 3rd of January down to the lows on the 26th of January, and that gave us the bounce area for ORDI. So that's how you work out where your potential TP zone is for ORDI. So looking for a little bit, I'd like to see another push up here for ORDI. So let's just look at the current situation. If you are taking profits, that is your resistance area. This 83 region, you can see it's a strong resistance zone and worthy of a reaction. Then we do have an interesting level a little bit lower down where we can find some potential ORDI support that you want to watch. And right now it is dancing around this current region. So this is a notable area here for ORDIs. But if we do get a deeper pullback on ORDIs, your major support that you're going to be watching, if you're going to stay in this position, is going to be this level at 72.9. That is going to be a major area for you. So what you want to do is just try and see what type of confluence you have in that region. So you're going to pull yourself a fib as well from this low to the high. Let's just see which fibs we have working on this currently. And you can see there we've got a 382 fib in play with ORDI. So you do have a backup level. If you want to hold this position and you think the market's going to continue to be bullish, you need to understand where your big areas, where your pullback zones that will potentially hold and bounce if there is some kind of pullback here on ORDI. So your first area that you're going to be watching here is 73 on the button. That's horizontal levels. It's 382 levels for you as well. So that's a big zone. So ORDI, if we do get a massive dip here, you want to see that bounce in that region. And I can tell you what, if you're holding on this trade and they do dip us back and they come to that region, that's called a round trip. That is one of the worst feelings in history, to take a round trip. So I could strongly advise you guys, take some profits, lift your stop. If you took this ORDI trades, let's celebrate it. Let's buy our wives some handbags, let's buy our husbands some things, just feel good about these trades, because other than that, we're just flashing P&Ls around. And are you actually banking these profits? So make sure that you are taking profits along the way. I see Michelle hates a round trip. It's the absolute worst feeling. The round trip burns. It's a deep burn. But okay, profit taking, guys. Profit. I got to stress that for you. Okay, the meme coin that's done nothing. Okay, DOGE, the dust meme coin. And, maybe it's showing its true colors here, that it is effectively a dust coin from 2021. We did get our little trend break here that we were looking for yesterday, but still no major reaction for DOGE. Is there potential move coming for DOGE? Yes, I think there is. If there is a little bit of bullishness left in the market, I think DOGE is going to be a late bloomer, and a rising tide lifts all boats, as you guys know. And we're still looking for the same play right now. So firstly, we do have a break of this big trend here. This is the 3-day chart for DOGE. We do have a break here. Okay, so that is confirmed. I am sitting in a DOGE position currently. I've just been building a little position. I'm going to show you here. It's on Prime XBT. Here it is right now, and it's just started. So I'm holding 40,000 DOGE tokens, so it's not a very big size. And I've just been nibbling at the current DOGE situation, hoping that we are going to get a launch, just like they've done with Pepe and a lot of these other meme tokens. So if you are interested in trading DOGE with me on Prime XBT, what you can do is grab a link in the description of the show. Okay, so you're just going to go to the bottom of the show here, and you click more, and you'll see there's an entire shopping list of things here for you. And Prime XBT is currently offering you a 7% sign-up bonus. So whatever you put in your account, they're going to give you USDT that you can trade with up to 7%. So if you put in $10,000, they're giving you $700 to trade with. If you put in $100,000, they're giving you $7,000 that you can trade with into your account. So if you want to trade some of these tokens with me, grab them on Prime XBT. The link is sitting here in the description for you. And that other exchange you saw was MEXC. You can see there's a MEXC exchange there, and I haven't opened my 2bit exchange, which I use quite regularly. 2bit is also a KYC friendly exchange for those of you that are interested, and I use that one regularly. I just don't have it open now today for you, and there are all sorts of sign-up bonuses as well. So take a look in the description and choose one of them if it works for you. Let's go XRP update. Okay, the dust coin number 2, and hopefully we're not going to talk about this dust coin again until it actually starts absolutely ripping. So this is my final discussion about XRP. I'm hoping this week, unless it pumps like 30%, then we'll be running around like the true XRP army saying, "I told you so," when it pumps. So we're going to be true XRP army boys. Yeah, there's the XRP army rule is everything else pumps 20%, 30%, XRP pumps 15%, and the XRP army jump out. They jump out of the bush and they say, "I told you so. It's working." And let's see if it happens here. So XRP, nice little break here. We've cracked the 200-week moving average. We've cracked the 200-day moving average. We've cracked a major trend here as well, and we've blown through some horizontals. So to be honest, things are looking quite bullish here for XRP in the current situation. They are looking like we are going to get that move that we are looking for. So a nice little move. What I could say here, if you are in this XRP trade or you are thinking about this XRP trade, you need to understand now, what are your key areas? What are your big pullback zones that are of interest to you? And the first zone you want to watch here currently, 0.575. That is now your support. This is now your support marker for today. And this support marker is reliant on BTC not absolutely rinsing you on some kind of massive pullback. So if you get like a medium-sized pullback on BTC, maybe onto those first areas that I showed you, then XRP should hold that region. If you get a lower pullback on BTC, perhaps to that 618 fib that I showed you at that next lower region, you're possibly going to see XRP dipping back to the 200-week MA and the 200-day MA. So these are your two potential bounce zones that you are working on for XRP right now. So our original entry was lower down yesterday at the 200-day and the 200-week. So eyes on that area now for XRP. If this works out and consolidates, we should see a nice dust coin move, and we'll be looking at targets around about 62. We'll be looking at around about 65 for potential areas here and potential targets for us on XRP. So just watch your levels closely, understand where your big support is. Your major support is 200-day MA, 200-week MA. That is around about 0.56. That's your major support. Then your next support, 0.575. So those are your two hot zones that you can pay attention to. And yeah, I mean, Nogan says Doge needs some love. Well, Doge definitely needs some love. Let's see. Maybe Elon will give us a tweet. You never know. Maybe, if you tag Elon on Twitter, maybe he'll give us a tweet there and pump Doge for us. XRP, forgive me. Okay, here we go. Rune. Okay, so Rune is also just an update from yesterday. Where are we sitting now? So we got our initial move. This is the exact move we wanted out of Rune yesterday. We got that little break. As you can see, we were looking for that little rejection there at a horizontal. So when you get a trend break, we always look for that initial rejection there. And then the real test for us, where the bulls need to step in, is always going to be on this pullback and this little buy zone. When we come back and test the horizontals and the trend, that's where the buys are. And that's what we're looking at. So Rune right now, for me, if things are going to remain bullish, we're looking at buys anywhere down into this region, anywhere down into this trend retest. So from 6 down to about 5.8, you could look for buys on Rune. As long as it's going to hold this trend and this horizontal, then things should be bullish. And again, tie it in to the current BTC move. Watch those fibs that I've given you on BTC and see how these two correspond with one another. And as long as BTC is bouncing on support, Rune should be bouncing on its corresponding support as well. They tend to move together. So eyes on this right now, but Rune looking okay for us at the moment. We've booked the trend break, and so far so good. Okay, lots of questions for Sooo, I see. Ian S from Invictus. We haven't looked at that one in a while. Joel says, when Elon farts, Doge will rise. I tend to believe that it will. Infern says, Dill, heads up on whiff. Guys, that whiff was ridiculous. And I actually felt a bit ill when I closed my trade at around about 54 or something like that. And it pumped to 70 something. I'm a little bit scared to look at it at the moment. I'm feeling a little bit ill that it ran so far. Okay, let's look at some of the twins and some of the basics for you guys, and just recap where we are. Let's look at our resistance areas here. If you were watching me yesterday, you would have got this AVAX entry and was banging onto the 382. So this was our entry we were looking at yesterday. There was a little bit of the weakness in the market, and it came and it dipped into our 382 entry zone. So that was a nice little buy there for AVAX. So that area is still a hot zone for us. That is still our support area. So if you are in this AVAX trade from yesterday, nothing has really changed. Okay, we've seen a little rejection here at this horizontal, so that is a big area we're going to watch. So this is resistance you want to watch now, 40.7. okay, so the bulls are watching 40.7 here as a major resistance zone that you want to break through, and key support levels again that you need to pay attention to. We're going to look back at these lows, so 38.3. watch 38.3 again if we do get some kind of retest from BTC, and then you do have backup a little bit lower down. Let's just adjust this fib. Let's just get these accurate for you so we get it a little bit tighter for you. A little bit lower down, your next key level for AVAX, 37.2. Both of these are potential long zones for you, provided the market stays stable. If they're going to come and flush us with a 20% move, then all bets are off, and AVAX is most likely going to bounce at around 33. That is the area you're going to be watching if they come with a big flush. Okay, that is your flush out level. But right now, if we normal trending market, BTC just breathing as we go, I would say AVAX, you're looking at support here, 38.3, and worst case, 37.25. That sort of area is where you're going to be looking for your AVAX bounces, just to pick that up and maybe add and pick up some more. Abonay says, make us rich. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. You know who I made rich today? I'll tell you right now. Let me show you who I made rich today. Sniper Club members. Okay. So I was sitting there today prepping my charts and everything, and I saw this ton trade sort of brewing for itself, and I was looking at it on the 8-hour, and it hadn't really moved at all. And what I decided to do was just start doing my regular charting things. I'm going to tell you how we came about this. So ton was sitting on the 50-day moving average. It was sitting above the 200-day moving average. It was floating around a nice little area, and then what I did was I put on Easy Algo. Okay, you can see you can flash it on and off here. I put on Easy Algo, and I saw straight away that it was sitting above the Easy Algo weekly pivot. Okay, so if you guys have been watching the show, you've seen I've been integrating Easy Algo into a lot of my trade strategies and a lot of things that I'm doing, and this was sitting in the middle of the weekly pivot and the daily pivot that Easy Algo was giving us. And if you've been watching my shows in the past, you would have seen we look for explosive moves off the weekly pivot and the daily pivot, especially when they are very tight and they're holding together. So this added extra confluence for me. We dropped the signal into Sniper Club, and look, it was a little bit lucky because within an hour, this ton just absolutely ripped, and they hit TP2 at 26% move. They hit TP2 in probably in 15 minutes. It pushed up to TP2. So if you're interested in things that we do in Sniper Club, well, here's one of the legends who sits in Sniper Club on top of obviously Sheldon and David and Simon and the other team in Sniper Club. We do tons of things there. We do trade signals, we do normal chart setups. My watch list that I do every day sits in the Sniper Club for you guys. Ideas, setup, thoughts. You're getting setups from Bruce, Simon, David as well. And Simon has been running the most epic airdrop channel in Sniper Club. We started probably about a month ago. He started an airdrop channel. It takes you step by step through the process, and he raised something like $160,000 for the club with his step-by-step airdrop process. So if you're interested in airdrops, you're interested in trade signals, you're interested in charts, you're interested in learning to be a better trader, come hang with us in the Sniper Club. The link is in the description. And if you are interested in Easy Algo, well, you can get access to Easy Algo probably 3 times a week. We're getting Easy Algo trade signals in Sniper Club. If you would like to trade Easy Algo or try it on its own, there is a free 3-day trial on its own. You can sign up as well with the link in the description. So right now, anyone who's trading ton, I mean, this thing really took off. So I would just exercise a little bit of caution here. But what you can do now, if you're looking for secondary positions, or if you are sitting in this current ton trade, what you can do is just start looking at your next key support levels, your next key zones where it could potentially hold if we get a pullback. And you can see we've got a nice juicy horizontal level here for ton at the moment that we're going to watch as our first area. And you'll note that I made that our TP zone, and there's always a reason why we plot these TP zones. We look at TP zones in reaction areas and things like that, and that a big horizontal is normally a good place to look for some kind of take profit on your trades. So what we're watching here, nice little horizontal. See, my chart's getting absolutely wrecked here. Let me just close some of these exchanges that are open. Okay, so we're going to shut down some of these exchanges here. Okay, let's go back to the chart. Should be a bit faster now. Okay, so sorry, that chart was getting wrecked there. Okay, support that you want to be watching for ton at the moment. Look for pullbacks, anything down to about 2.45. That would be an area that you could start looking at for potential buys. And what you can do is also just drag up your fibs. Try and get an idea as to where your fibs are sitting. If they give you confluence, it's even better, obviously. And what you can see here right now, you can keep your eyes on this area. And unfortunately, we've got one candle to deal with. So it's not giving you much to work with. The best area that you want to be watching here for ton, in my opinion, is going to be round about this 2.45 area. So any dips into that zone could be and should be for buying, provided things are still bullish here in the market. So guys, let me know in the chats who else got this ton trade. Who else actually got it? Anyone out there that's not in the Sniper Club that got that, let us know. Lord Drake, what the hell? How's this guy? Okay, Chelsea says she's keeping an eye on Sooo. What else we got? Oh, we got a weekly break from SHIB. Now I'm going to show you a couple of things. I got a few that I'm watching on the weekly of interest for you guys. Before I get to Sooo and Phantom, I want to just talk to you about the CFX. This was an interesting tweet I saw today in the newsroom and from the research team as well. And he's saying CFX, the forgotten Bitcoin layer 2 of the East. Now remember, there was a grand announcement on CFX not too long ago. Talking about their layer 2 and all these things, and the price pumped, I don't know, 15-20%, things like that, and then people did forget about it. But let's not forget, you know, the forgotten Bitcoin layer 2 CFX could be a little bit of a bullish play coming. A little bit of work to do on CFX at the moment. So what I've done here is I've started buying a little bit of spot in case there's going to be some kind of mega move here. So this is not a leverage play of mine. It's just a notable area, and it's a notable mover for me. Once these Asians get involved here, we're looking at some big moves potentially on the table here for CFX. So I wanted some of this in my armory, and these are a couple of areas of interest where I think CFX could potentially go. So your first potential target, we first got to break through the weekly, but your first area of interest, 34. And then I've got a level up here at around about 45 that we're going to be looking at. But it's a pretty simple process, what we need to look for. We just want to see CFX actually push higher here and just find support on this weekly, because this is a nice little weekly support zone. You can see we've got support here. We've had resistance in that area before. We've rejected once. We've rejected twice. Maybe this time they're going to push it a little bit higher. So there is a nice potential move coming on CFX if it does give momentum. First phase is 24%. Next phase is probably about 60%, and then above that, well, it's anyone's guess as to where it can go. So eyes on CFX. I've grabbed a little bit to take advantage if they do start getting involved. Matthew says he got long and then he shorted the ton trade. Okay, well, that's a legend move for you. Well played on that. Okay, let's go render. Okay, so we've seen these AI tokens coming to life again. So I wanted to show you 2 AI narrative tokens to talk about, because I think if we blow this current area that we are at now, Render's going to start banging price discovery and there's going to be some targets coming for Render that I think are going to surprise us if it does get some kind of momentum. So eyes on Render currently. This is the 4-hour chart. I've just grabbed a little entry in that box a little bit earlier, and it does seem to be moving at the moment. So again, this is just the first move that it's made. We need to watch this current horizontal where it's sitting. You can see it's struggling a little bit in that area, and once we get moving now on Render, hopefully we're going to get something along these lines, and then we're going to start taking out our current TPs that we are watching. So anything for me, Render, anything roundabout in the zone here, 70.7.56 would sort of be the top end of a suggested entry. Otherwise, you want to wait for this pullback into this support level at about 7.7 if you can get that. So let it pop up, let it come back and give you some support, and that should be a potential entry then for Render that you can play with. And what we want to see on the weekly or on the daily, let's just give you a picture as to where Render really is and what can happen. We've seen the type of things that go down with these tokens once they start hitting price discovery and all these things. And you can see Render is right here, right now, pushing all-time highs. The all-time high after that launch was around about 8.1, and right now we are pushing that region again. So what I'd say is the target that you can look at for Render, potentially 13 is on the table here. What does it look like to get there? It might not be in a straight line. It's probably going to be something along these lines with some consolidation and things like that along the way. So we'll be able to trade it multiple times if it does start pushing that trip up to 13. But 12 to 13 is now a target that I've locked in for Render. If this thing remains bullish, we can trade these little breakouts, and as it starts getting momentum, you can lift your stop, just put it under your entry, and let this thing ride higher. I think Render should see this 12 to 13 level, provided BTC behaves. They mustn't come and kill us. They must just be polite. And as long as they're polite, we're going to be okay. And another comparison for you is GRT, also part of the AI narrative. And it's been a little bit slow of late, considering what's been happening in the last week. And I mean, I'm not talking these weekly candles. This has been a very fast mover, but I'm talking in the last couple of days, things that have happened for GRT. So what you can do is follow the exact same principle that we've just followed there for Render, and you want to dial in. This is the weekly currently. So what you want to do with GRT is you want to dial in and you want to try and catch the break of a potential 4-hour or potential 8-hour consolidation just under this weekly zone. And if this thing's going to turn bullish, we're going to look for a break on these current weekly, this weekly resistance area. You can see it's a nice weekly resistance area. What we want to do is just pop that region over there, and then any retests for me are going to be for buying. And then we're going to look at a target here for GRT at around about 0.41. That's going to be our next target, and that's really making the play where we just trade level by level. We don't have to think too far ahead. We just look at juicy area, we go to the next juicy area, and so on. And then as we break through each level, the next area becomes your support that you're going to be watching, and it becomes major support. So right now, let's try and get this breakout on GRT. So you're going to dial in on these lower time frames, and you're going to look for something similar to what we've just done on this Render chart. So eyes on GRT, exactly the same principle. You want to just try and build something along these lines for you, and see if you can catch a little move there. And then once you get some momentum, you can just raise your stops, because remember, this market is hot. Okay, and at any point in time when you're not thinking, you can be in the kitchen, you can be making yourself coffee, and you're going to come back and they're going to be flushing the market out. So as you get momentum now, any new trades, remember, this market is cooking, this market is hot. Any new trades, you need to keep a close eye on them. And once you get momentum, just lift those stops a little bit, just lower your risk now. And remember, this market's been running. It cannot continually run like this without some kind of flush out and some kind of clean out from these guys. They're going to come and flush us at some point. I see Algo is pumping as well. God, there's so much going on here. It's wherever you look. Soul just broke the 115. Okay, well, let's look at Soul. Here we go. Okay, so this is a big area now for Soul. So this is interesting. If you were watching the show yesterday, while we were live, they were putting pressure on us here on Soul, and we got that little bounce here on the 382, and we were saying this 382 now is key support for us for Soul at this 107 level, and it reclaimed it so nicely. and it gave us pumpage, and now it's just playing the game beautifully for us. So what is the plan now? Okay, I'm not in a sole position. What must I do? Okay, so look, it's if you start missing these big areas, remember the best buy yesterday was when we were under pressure on the pullback. Okay, that's always your best buy when you're feeling the heat. Okay, here it is, gave us a bounce on a solid zone. Now what do we do with Sol? Well, we're breaking a horizontal resistance area. You can see it's sticking its head out currently. We do have another horizontal area to pay attention to. Okay, this is most likely a rejection area, a reaction zone, something along those lines. So I would say expect something like this little push up into this region, then a rejection, and then you're going to get a potential support buy coming into play in this region over here. So remember, sometimes you really have to just be patient. You have to wait for these things to push a little bit and try and confirm support, because right now we've got Sol pushing, but we want to make sure to be safe. If you want to de-risk as much as you can to be safe, you want to confirm that certain areas are support, because sometimes we get a fake out. They push you up and then they just rip you back down and they come and kill you. And what I would say here is look for some kind of support. 114, that's really what you want to see. And if you are sitting in Sol, your next reaction, your next resistance area is 118. So expect some kind of reaction there, and then you can play the same game again as you move higher. So as we start working our way up to this 126 level, you're going to see a very similar type of setup play out for Solana. So if we start cooking again and we blow this region one more time, it's going to be the same situation. So you might actually see something along these lines with Sol, provided, you know, BTC must just behave itself. But we could get something like that for Sol. So the same way we played this one over here, we played that one at the 106 level as well. We could get that now playing out for Sol. So first things first, 114 must hold for you as support. Okay, keep your eyes on that thing, make sure that's holding, then you can start nibbling at a position and trying to get stuck into that. Okay, another one I'm looking for an entry on actually is Phantom. Okay, so we know Phantom is a nice runner. Okay, we know what Phantom can do. Phantom's been abused for 18 months and all types of things. Don't forget, Phantom was at $3 at some point in 2021, and we were trying to long that thing at $3. I mean, we were absolutely euphoric back then. So Phantom, we know it can do things. It takes a couple of tweets from some of the team involved there, and next thing, Phantom is ripping, and you can see it's showing a lot of strength at the moment. So I'm actually currently hunting a Phantom entry. I don't have one yet, so I'm going to tell you what my plan is and what I'm looking for. So first things first, I'm going to look for a reaction here. I'm going to look for a rejection at the 786 region. I want to see what type of flag we get. I want to see how big this reaction is. I want to see how big that rejection could be in that area, and then I think we're going to get a potential entry on Phantom once we get some consolidation in this region. So Phantom is now on my watch list constantly, and I'm a bit irritated that I missed it earlier today. So we're looking for some kind of consolidation, some kind of flag here. If you want to be long Phantom, I would say now is not the time. We are pushing into a resistance area, so you just want things to calm down a little bit and then look for your entries, and then you can get going on it. So just a little bit of patience here, a little bit of patience. Okay, Benjamin says a pump coming on Pyth. Well, Pyth, we looked at some great levels yesterday, so hopefully you guys took those entries off those levels that I gave you yesterday. Super was one of our, I think it was one of our trades yesterday as well, so you should have some levels there. Let's see what else we got. There's questions about Matic. I owe you guys the charts in. Oh, I've got two more for you before we go to your charts. I've got Injective. Okay, nice little update here for Injective, and this is exactly what we were looking for yesterday. So Injective is now on track for our 44 target that I gave you guys yesterday. How did we figure that target out? What did we want? Well, we identified that we had massive support here at the 50-day MA, 618 and horizontal. So we have big support for Injective at 36. That is a major zone for us. We also had backup using Easy Algo. There it is. We had a nice thick weekly pivot for Easy Algo, confirming that we have a strong support zone. So we know that, number one, that is strong for us for Injective. And then we were saying, let's look for potential pullbacks once we break these horizontals. Now we've broken these horizontals, so you can tentatively start using this 382 as potential support for you now on Injective. So remember, it's a tentative long at the moment because we do have the 618 a little bit lower down. But what you can do is try and look for some little nibbles in this area, and then we try to take out this 44 region. And then if we blow that area, there's big things coming for Injective. If it behaves anything the way CAS behaved, we're going to get we're going to get quite a brutal move, I would say, here, ripping through these all-time highs. And the guys are going to be screaming again that Injective is going back, or not going back, it's going to $80 or $100 and that sort of thing. So first things first, watch your current support. Your current support is 38.3. Watch that area closely. If we do get momentum here, your next target is 44. Okay, below that 44 region, and then you're going to have yourself a nice support base here on the daily that you're going to look at. You're going to look for that pop, you're going to look for that pullback, and then we're going to get some buys in. Hopefully on the show, when it happens, we're going to look for something along those lines. It's going to be a support buy, and I can tell you right now, it's going to tie in with a 382. It's going to tie in with something that's going to give us extra confluence there to look for those moves. So just be patient there. Watch your support levels. Here it is, 38.3. Watch that area. Doge is pumping according to Pedro. Let's take a look at the dust. There he goes. Okay, this is power. Okay, so Doge is now going to rip this 200-week MA. This is what we want to see. We want to see it pump through this 200-week MA and horizontal. This is a beautiful area now for us. Okay, this is a key level for us that we want to watch, because why is this important for us? Because once we break this, it gives us confluence, and it might tell us that we're going to get strong support on any pullbacks onto this 200-week MA. So just let it pop through this area now. It's nice that we got a little bit of momentum. We want to see that horizontal and the 200-week MA flipped into support for us. If that happens for us and we lock in that region, then we are cooking for Doge, and we're looking at 0.15 as our potential target here. So good start here. 200-week MA getting popped through here as we speak. Let's see if it can push, and nice support for us then is going to be 0.103. That's going to be a support for us on that retest if we do blow through here. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Guys, there's so many tokens. I know that this market is it's almost euphoric out there at the moment. I'm trying to cover as much as I can for you. I've got another one that is interesting to me. This is Vulcan Forged. PYR is the ticker on Binance. Big gaming project. Many people are fans of this at the moment, and I want to bring this one to your attention. It looks like something is potentially going to be brewing here on Vulcan Forged. What do I like about it? Well, it looks clean to me. It looks like a typical breakout setup that I'm looking for, that I trade. And let me show you what that looks like. Right now, this is the weekly chart you're looking at. So we're looking at big moves here. And what we're trying to see is we're looking for a pop into this weekly horizontal zone. Then we're looking for that retest onto the horizontal again and trend. And then we are looking for some massive moves here on PYR. And I'm thinking anything from about 17 to round about this 18.5 region looks in range for us here on PYR. But first things first, we need to blow this weekly trend. We need to confirm that we are breaking this weekly trend, and then we want to just check that we do have support. So any retest, we want to look at buying. So the trade is not ready yet. This is a weekly setup, and it might be very nicely suited to some spot buyers. If you guys are interested, I'm sure you guys are all very interesting. Support areas that you can watch for now, you're looking at about the 50-day moving average under 6.3, and your upside target is around about, say, 120% potential move here coming for PYR. But first things first, we still got to crack the weekly trend. Then we've got to come back, we've got to retest it, and then we're looking for bigger moves. So just be patient with it. Keep it on your watch list. I think this is a nice mover coming, especially if we get a strong gaming narrative again and they want to pump this thing. You can see the types of candles this thing has printed before. I mean, they were doing this in April 22. Look at the size of these moves. This happened in the space of a week or two. So again, don't underestimate the power of this thing. It can absolutely rip. So looking for potential entries there. Once we break that trend, we're going to reassess and then look for these moves up. Big supports that you want to watch currently: 50-day moving average, 382 fib. You're looking at 6.3 is your support region that you want to keep your eyes on. Anywhere down there. Okay, let's go, guys. There's so much to talk about here. Okay, I got to do crypto mouth says please do vet. And then I need to see what of you guys want me to chart here. We're going to do stacks and we're going to do Arweave. Okay, let's go. Okay, so let's open with VET. When you're ready. Okay, there it is. Okay, this VET has been absolute beast mode as well, and it doesn't seem to want to give up. It just keeps pushing and keeps pushing. So VET was a little trade we gave in the private sessions on Sniper Club on Sunday night, I think it was, and yeah, looking good, moving nicely so far. What I'm looking for now, I just want to confirm that it's trying to break through that current horizontal high that we're looking at there. So far that looks okay. If you are sitting in VET, I would say you're okay for now. You've got support here. I would say watch your lows. 0.05 is support you want to watch. So let me just highlight that for you. The reason I like it, it's the low of this 12-hour candle. So it means we've had this pullback now. There was a little bleed out, and now there's a strong bounce. So I'm using that low as a potential marker for you on VET. So if we just zoom in, you can see what it looks like. It's the low of that candle, 0.50. And what does that mean? It means, look, if we lose that area and we start closing the candles underneath that zone, then VET turns a little bit bearish and things start turning a little bit south. So for now, all is well with VET. I would say just watch your 0.05 marker. If you are still long VET and you lose that area, maybe you want to just start trimming a little bit because it depends how dark this market is getting and what they want to do with BTC. Guys, you won't believe it. I see Rashedia is asking about ZIL, and that was one in the portfolio. If you guys remember, if you were watching me in December, I gave you a 200% ZIL trade. I'm still sitting in that thing. It stuffed around for so long. It sat there for absolute months, and now it's finally doing something. So hopefully some of you guys are still in that trade with me. He says, sound the horn. We sound that horn. So yeah, ZIL is actually waking up. Also one of the dust coins. I'd say it's partly a dust coin actually. Okay, the next one we got to cover is 𝗬𝗓𝗡 because of all the news and what's going on with it. The guys are so bullish on this 𝗬𝗓𝗡 at the moment, and I think we need to start looking for potential entries. The guys are talking things like 10x coming for 𝗬𝗓𝗡 still from these current areas. Would I buy it now? Not quite. You know, I'd like to see a little bit more consolidation on it, but I think it's got a lot of upside at the moment. Maybe as a scalp, you could start looking at things if you want to dial in to shorter time frames. But just looking at this picture right here, this 𝗬𝗓𝗡 play that we've got, it can easily just ride up to 40 without too much trouble here. Let's just take a look at the size of this potential move here. Yeah, 126% from the support area. So if you're looking for entries and things, your main support is 17.6. Based on the news currently, is it going to come back here? It would be tricky to say it's going to come back, especially when I hear what these guys are doing and how bullish everybody is on it. So what you can do is you can turn into a little bit of a degenerate, and you can start zoning in 1 hour, 15 minutes, all these type of things. Not Jake says Sooo is going to explode, guys. I'm going to try and get us an entry here. Okay, let's see. What have we got? Oh, I see Seth's indicator is telling us we're above the weekly pivot and we're above all these things. So let's just take that off. Okay, you want to trade 𝗬𝗓𝗡? You want to be a degen? Okay, here we go. Okay, here's your trade. Okay, you guys want to trade 𝗬𝗓𝗡? Here we go. Here's a long. Right here, right now. Okay, simple, clean. Okay. Trend break, 15 minutes. This is full degen vibes, guys. This is actually, it's full on degen here. 15-minute candle, trend break. Okay, support you're watching, 22.1. Loss of 22.1 tells me 𝗬𝗓𝗡 is coming down. It's coming down harder, and it's potentially looking at that 18 level. So eyes on this area now. This is your plan. Let's just pull out this brush. Here's your resistance zone. Okay, so if we do get a move up, look for that reaction there. Let's look for that little pullback, and then you want to see it start pumping up. I would say watch this region here. If you close, and when I say close, I mean if the candle closes on the 15 minutes under 22.1, so if you get a dip down like that and they push it up but they close under that region, it probably means that 𝗬𝗓𝗡 is coming down lower. Okay, so this is an absolute degen play, guys, absolute degen. And you know, you're putting yourself at a little bit of risk here. Your risk is close under 22.1. Let's see the size of that move. 4%. Okay, so it's not exactly small risk as well. So this is a 15-minute play, 15-minute candle play, trend break, eyes on that. That's your main support region that you are watching. Okay, let's finish Arweave and Stacks. Okay, let's go Stacks. George, and I know George is watching. I'm almost done. I promise you, George, I'm almost done. Guys, George always reminds me, if you like the content, okay, it's very simple. If you like the content, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel and hit the bell, because when I go live, you will then get notified when I'm going live. And when the market's cooking like this, you obviously don't want to miss the live action, okay? If you do miss the live action, what you can do as well afterwards is go to the comments and put the tokens in that you want me to chart for you. And I look at the comments after every show, every day, and I try and respond to some of the comments there as well. So if you want to reach me or you want to comment on the show, let me know. I respond, I read the comment, and drop in your charts you want me to look at, and I'll look at them for you. If they make sense to me, we'll have a go. Okay, let's go Stacks. Now, again, Stacks is a brilliant pumper on BTC strength. Let's see what we're looking at the moment. I know we had a head and shoulders. It was looking a little bit bearish, and then out of nowhere, it came and just absolutely pumped. So let's just look at Stacks on the weekly. Let's get an idea as to where we are. Okay, so Stacks again at major resistance. Okay, this was actually our big reaction zone that we were looking at. These were the 2 points. I haven't been watching this, unfortunately, but here is Stacks now rejecting 3.25. Okay, major area. What is good for it? It has pierced, it has printed a new high. So Stacks has hit a new all-time high. Okay, that is interesting at the moment. So this is your last major zone that you need to be watching for Stacks at the moment. That's your area. Okay, so we've printed a new all-time high, and let's see consolidation support region. What do we like? 2.8. Easy play here. 2.8. You're looking at that. Why do I like that? Weeklies everywhere here. So nice little support band. So 2.8 is your support area you're watching for Stacks. And the play now is, I would say, look for consolidation here. This is all-time high. Once we blow all-time high, you guys know the drill. These things absolutely fly, and it's price discovery, and we know the narrative around Stacks and all these things at the moment. So what you can do is pull your 1.618 fib from the high to the low, and you want to just pull it out in your settings here. You want to go 1.618. There it is. Let's just fill it in. Your 1.618 gives you a guesstimate as to where you think your token can go, and the target right now for Stacks is 5. Okay, so support 2.8. If you lose that support at 2.8, things are bearish. The market is having a breather. Things are turning over. Okay, and let it do its thing. If it holds 2.8, your upside target is around about 5 that you guys are looking at. Okay, absolute last one. Here we go. Link. Okay, so this was another Sniper Club trade that we gave for Link, and we've just seen a nice little trend break on Link. So the areas you want to watch. Currently, there's always a couple of trades in these setups. So remember, this actually paints the picture so nicely for you guys as to how we formulate trades and how the trading cycle works, in the processes that we follow. So the first trade is always your bearish play, where you are feeling negative, you are hating crypto, the market is melting. Remember how you feel when the candles are red like that. It's disgusting, and it pushes down into our hot zones. Those are normally your entry number ones, okay? Then your TP zone is often where you get a trend and a horizontal resistance. So that's your first area where you raise your stops, you take something off your trade. Then once you break your trend, your next entry is often a retest of your trend and your previous TP zone or your previous horizontal zone. And here's Link now in phase 2, okay? So now it's moving up to its current TP2 zone once again. You can see it's pinged it here one more time, and it's pushing higher. Where can Link go? What is the potential target if this is going to run? You're going to love this because it's nice and high. Let's just have a look here. There's the box that I'm interested in for Link. Okay, Link, we're looking anything around 27.5 to about 28 as your potential target. But again, and I can't stress this enough, this market is hot. This market is cooking. We haven't experienced conditions like this in a very long time. And remember, people are coming in late. We got late longers coming in. The leverage is very high at the moment. Things are very frothy. And at any point in time, and it's often when you least expect it, you get a mega and a massive pullback. And they flush all this noise out. They flush all the late longers out. They reset the engines. and then they start the process again. So what I could suggest here, if you are jumping into longs now, you are a little bit behind, you're a bit behind the 8 ball, you are late, you are multiple days late. And the best entries were many days ago. If you are jumping into longs now, yes, they could still run. You could still get some good moves out of it. So I don't want to say don't trade. I want to say just be cautious. If your trades get momentum, start raising your stops. Don't over leverage. Don't get involved in a situation where you're maxing out everything, because we are at the top of a current move. And, often, we get a flush out, we get a pullback, something like that. And you don't want to get hurt. When the market's green like this, you don't want to waste it by getting hurt. So all I can say to you guys is smaller positions, bigger moves, let the stuff play out, de-risk as and when you can, take profits as and when you can. The market is giving us so much at the moment, but remember that feeling when the market's taking from you. It's a terrible feeling, and you're going to be looking back saying, geez, I wish I took more profits. And I just don't want you guys to live through that experience. So remember the lessons from the last bull market if you've done it before, and if you haven't done it, well, we can tell you. Bruce is sitting here in the back. We've done this bull market vibe before. We know what it gives and we know what it takes. So just be careful. That's all I want to say. De-risk, take some profits, enjoy the ride. It's wild out there. We're not going anywhere. I'll be here every day, up or down. We're going to take these trades. We're going to look for these setups. So just take it easy, guys. I just don't want anyone to get hurt here. Bruce, any other wise words for the traders out there?
No, I'm actually excited about ARWI because I hadn't looked at it, and that was the very first spot trade I called in Sniper Club, and as a 1x spot trade, it's up 190%. So I'm very excited. That was fun.
Oh, okay. The legends in Sniper Club, guys, go find him there. Okay, Bruce, excited. Later. Guys, I've overstayed my welcome again. When the market's euphoric like this, we got to cover as many charts. I want to look after you guys where I can. I'm back tomorrow again. Hopefully everything holds. Hopefully these levels hold, and we're cooking again tomorrow. Let's see how we go. Fun either way. Catch you guys later.